the information in that book can take a while to get used to or to really fully grasp, because a lot of it is a complete contradiction to what we've always been, what we've always thought. All right. So today, the first question I have is an anonymous question I received by email. And this person says, I tend to wake up with a rush of negative emotions due to being woken up negatively consistently as a child. How can I wake up and start my day immediately subsiding these emotions? Another question I have is, I tend to walk into work in the mornings with extreme anxiety and worry about what others think of me, and just random anxiousness around people. And I believe that it is from how my mornings were negative as a child with a negative and judgmental father. How can I start my day before going into work and stop this during my work day while interacting with people? It is affecting my interactions with people. So first of all, thank you very much for sending in this question, and well done for reaching out for help with this. I'm so glad you did. And that connection between how you were woken up in the mornings as a child and your automatic neurochemical state that's creating those negative feelings when you wake up now as an adult makes perfect sense, of course. So I'm going to give you two main steps to address and change the negative emotions when waking up in the morning first. And then I'll add to that a couple of extra things for changing your experiences at work. So the first step, the reason this first step works is because a reminder that thoughts are connections between neurons in the neocortex of the brain, and those connections trigger matching chemicals. Negative thoughts trigger stress chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol that create negative feelings, and positive thoughts trigger feel-good chemicals like endorphin, serotonin, and oxytocin that create positive feelings. At the moment, as you're waking up in the morning, your brain is already automatically triggering the production of stress chemicals because of that conditioning from your childhood. And then as you become aware of those feelings, as you feel the effects of those stress chemicals in the form of negative emotions, your conscious mind is automatically finding reasons for them. And those connections between neurons, those thoughts, are triggering more stress chemicals, and so it perpetuates. So in addition to changing the childhood memories, which we'll get to in step 2, you'll also need to gain control over those neural connections, which result in control of the chemicals that are being produced. And then, of course, that will gain control over how you feel. So here are the actions for this first step. When you're at home at some point today or this evening, plan for when you go to bed tonight. Number 1, choose an object or a photo that feels good when you look at it. So it could be a photo of a favorite place or a person or a pet or something that you're looking forward to, or it could be an object that's beautiful, something you love the color of, whatever feels good. And then put that object or that photograph next to your bed where you'll see it as soon as you wake up in the morning. Number 2, cue up a favorite song or piece of music that you can listen to first thing in the morning. And then number 3, tonight, as you go to bed, do the little brain chemistry exercise, and I'll put the link to that in the description for those who don't have it, and set the intention that no matter how you're feeling when you wake up in the morning, you will look at whatever object or photograph is next to your bed, and as you do that, you will intentionally allow yourself to feel good. You'll do that, and then you'll do the little brain chemistry exercise again, and then you'll listen to the song or the music that you queued up for yourself while you're doing whatever your regular morning routine is. And remind yourself that all of this is not magic, and it's not mind over matter or intangible in any way. What you are literally physically doing when you're choosing your focus like this, so you're You're choosing to look at something that makes you feel good, and you're allowing yourself to feel good as you look at it. You're practicing the brain chemistry exercise, which of course takes under 2 minutes, and you're listening to music or a song that you enjoy. What you are literally doing is you are intentionally choosing the neural connections your brain is making in those moments, and therefore what chemicals are being triggered in that moment. And of course, that will affect how you feel. So when you then wake up tomorrow morning, so you set all of that intention tonight before you go to bed. And then when you wake up tomorrow morning, as you feel that rush of negative emotions that you have been feeling each morning, recognize and remind yourself that what you're feeling in that moment is just the sensations of stress chemicals that have been automatically triggered while you were asleep or as you were waking up, like someone left the stress chemical tap running during the night. And now you're going to switch off that tap and switch on feel-good chemicals tap by choosing to allow yourself to enjoy looking at the object or photo next to your bed and doing the little brain chemistry exercise, and then listening to the music or the song that you love. Then think of one thing you're looking forward to, no matter how small it is, even if it's just a cup of coffee or watching your favorite TV show when you get home that night, and allow yourself to look forward to it. Allow yourself to focus on what it is about that thing that you'll enjoy or be grateful for. Again, this is not about distracting yourself or being positive. This is literally about brain chemistry. As you think of the thing you're looking forward to, as I say, even if it's just a cup of coffee, and the things about it that you'll enjoy, those are connections between neurons in the neocortex of your brain in real time. And as you continue to make those neural connections, your brain will start to trigger the production of feel-good chemicals instead of the stress chemicals that cause the negative emotions. Now, it's very important to also remember that stress chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol are stronger than feel-good chemicals. And that's because stress chemicals create fight, freeze, flight, emergency, survival state. Because it's more important for our survival that we focus on the wild animal that's threatening to attack us than on the pretty flowers, of course. So this means that it can take a while before you're able to feel the effects of the feel-good chemicals, even while you're focusing on something you enjoy or that you're looking forward to. We need to keep that stress chemical tap switched off. In other words, keep our focus off the negative, and the feel-good chemical tap switched on. In other words, focusing on the things that we love, enjoy, or are looking forward to for long enough to be able to feel the effects of that. Again, because the stress chemicals are stronger than the feel-good chemicals, we need more of the feel-good chemicals to override the effects of the stress chemicals, which means keeping our focus on the positive for longer. It actually takes just 60 to 90 seconds to switch from stress chemicals to feel-good chemicals, as long as we're keeping our focus off the negative and on the positive for just that minute and a half. So do those actions every night and every morning to recondition your brain and body neurochemically. Then the second step will be changing those childhood memories that are triggering that chemical state in the first place, of course. So I'll put a link in the description of this video for finding and changing negative childhood memories. But what you're aiming for is that you were always woken up gently with kindness and fun, and both of your parents were relaxed and happy and loving every morning. So every morning was relaxed and fun, and it was enjoyable to get up. All right. So you were looking forward to the day, all of that. So you can put music in. So that's what you want to end up with. Make sure that you are not in a negative state when you start changing memories. So get yourself into a feel-good state first, and then do the detective work to find and change those memories. You can also use the bookmark memories, and I'll put a link to those in the description of this video as well. So now, regarding going to work, those 2 steps that I just gave you in answer to waking up in the morning will also help, of course, with going into work. And I want to give you an additional couple of suggestions with reference specifically to going into work. One of the things to be aware of is while you're on your way to work, in other words, between leaving home and walking into work, where is your focus during that period of time? Are you listening to something? Are you thinking about something? whatever it is, choose to listen to an uplifting podcast or an audiobook that feels uplifting or music that you love while you're on your way to work. Remember that wherever we're putting our focus in each moment is determining what chemicals are being produced, which in turn determines how we're feeling. The second tool I want to offer you is the Superpower book. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video, but I know you're also in the school emotional health group, and you'll find a free download of the Superpower book in the classroom tab of that group. And for anyone who's not yet a member of that group, it's a free emotional health group, and you can find it at school, spelt skool.com/emotional health. And we'd love to have you there. So read that little book. It's not very long. Practice the techniques in it. Keep referring to it and reread sections so that you can absorb. And because the information in that book can take a while to get used to or to really fully grasp, because a lot of it is a complete contradiction to what we've always been, what we've always thought. So doing that will also help with your chemical state and with your experiences at work. So I hope that's helpful. And you can watch the recording of this session as many times as you need, of course, to remind you of the steps and the information, because there's a lot of, I know that I gave you a lot of information in here. And also keep reaching out for help in the emotional health group and in these sessions as you go.